There's some pretty weird things going on in the world of UFO theories at the moment, but they're not coming from crackpots on the net, they're coming from US fighter pilots.
Was anybody above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago?
Holy crap! What is that?
Take a look at this.
UFOs are a real phenomenon.
Did you get it closer?
Should we be worried?
This thing's freaking me out. It's just hovering above my house.
It goes, and it's gone.
In late 2017, the Pentagon admitted that from 2007 to 2012, it ran the secretive Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Its purpose was to investigate flying threats captured on radar and seen by US pilots.
We try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security.
So, what did it find?
Well, we found a lot. We've identified some very, very interesting type of aircraft. Let's call them aircraft.
Yeah, it revealed some freaky stuff. Aircraft with out-of-this-world flying abilities.
No obvious forms of propulsion.
No wing surfaces, no exhaust.
Hypersonic velocities.
What we call hypersonic.
Well over the speed of sound.
Oh, well above supersonic.
Extreme maneuverability.
Seemingly defying the laws of physics.
Defying the laws of aerodynamics.
Frankly, baffling.
Honestly, I wanted to fly it.
It all led to this remarkable conclusion from the bloke who ran the program.
There is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
Worldwide UFO sightings by dweebs like you and me peaked in 2014 at more than 8,500. And it was around this time that some US Navy fighter pilots were apparently seeing strange aerial phenomena on a daily basis.
I mean, wherever we were, they were there.
A white, 40-foot long, tic-tac shape.
They said it looked like a tic-tac.
And it takes off like nothing I've ever seen. Poof.
American pilots reportedly began noticing new objects on their radars after upgrading their 80s era systems to better ones.
Some of the new infrared radar systems that we're putting on some of our new jets are detecting some things out there.
We have had pilots saying that they've seen things.
Oh my gosh, dude.
In May of this year, 5 pilots came forward to speak to the New York Times to describe what they saw off the East Coast.
Visual contact, and we don't know what to do.
One Super Hornet pilot described a near mid-air collision with an object that looked like a sphere encasing a cube.
Clearly, this is nothing that we're used to seeing out there. So we submitted a safety report saying that there was an unidentified object in our working space.
It's sightings like these that just a few months ago forced the US Navy to introduce new reporting protocols, guidelines to make it more acceptable for pilots to come forward with their stories.
It's not in their interest to make this stuff up.
It's rotated.
Professionally, it could be very damaging.
There's a stigma. It's been difficult to get people in the bureaucracy in the military to understand they can deal with this without being penalized. And it's taken the pilots themselves speaking out publicly to really get this on everybody's agenda.
Even politicians are now receiving briefings.
Unidentified aerial phenomena. 3 more U.S. senators received a classified briefing about UFOs at the Pentagon.
They're talking about it, Brooke.
Well, we are concerned about it. We have questions. Is this something that's a defense mechanism from another country, or is it something else? We're not trying to spook people out.
Is it Russia? Is it China?
Is it fair to boil it down to 2 possibilities? Either another country has leapfrogged the United States in technology or extraterrestrial?
Those are the leading hypotheses, yes.
I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs.
But what about here in the Down Underverse? Where are our UFOs? Well, we asked the Australian Air Force about it and they were like, yeah, nah, the Air Force doesn't have a protocol that covers recording or reporting of UFO sightings. The mystery only deepens.
Do I believe in UFOs?
Not really.
I personally don't know.
No, I don't think UFOs have come here.
Aliens? No. It's very hard to believe.
So you don't believe in UFOs?
Nah.
Why not?
Is that not real? I don't know. No reason to believe in them.
Now I know what you're thinking. What does a respected sexy astrophysicist think?
Things are being spotted. I think it's important. I think it's good that they are being documented and reported, but I have to approach this with my science hat on, with that element of skepticism. I do not think we've been visited. I do not think these are aliens. I think it's much more likely it's some form of new technology testing or the like. I will eat my socks if it turns out to be aliens.
It's hard to argue with someone so handsome. So is this just a crazy US thing? To find out, we went deep.
They are a phenomena all around the world. France, Brazil, India, Peru is a hot spot for UFOs.
Canadian tech entrepreneur Deep Prasad really wants to get his hands on a UFO. He's written articles about it and has staked his professional reputation on it.
Surprisingly, I'm well respected even after going completely on the record about UFOs.
Deep wants to find and reverse engineer UFOs flown here by what he reckons are civilizations way more advanced than ours.
Without a doubt, we have been visited. UFOs represent technology that could easily advance humanity because what we're looking at is unlocking interstellar travel.
Deep points to these 3 bizarre spacecrafty patents taken out by US Navy engineers as proof they're already tinkering with intergalactic tech.
It just made it dead obvious that these are shots in the dark that the Navy's finest scientists are taking to figure out how these UFOs actually work. They may have actual debris from some of these craft.
And that's what people hope to find when they storm the infamous top-secret Area 51 Air Force testing site in Nevada next month.
The number of people who say they're interested just keeps growing.
Yep, a Facebook page inciting an Area 51 takeover has more than 2 million people clicked as attending on September 20.
I would find it absolutely hilarious if it goes ahead, but I don't think it's going to.
If they were able to actually get inside the base, they would see actual aerial vehicles that look like knockoff UFOs.
And it's just meant to be funny. I want to do something cool out there now that we have a bunch of people, but I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Area 51 was early used to fake the moon landing.
Them flying around in our airspace but not identifying themselves, but just enough to get the world talking, it's all part of their plan.
So is the US government drip-feeding us facts about visitors to Earth rather than making a full public disclosure?
Our society would fall apart if something like that happened.
I don't think there's going to be aliens. And certainly if they visit, I don't think they're going to be in cahoots with the government.
Is Matt, the astrophysicist bachelor, too charming to be taken seriously? And hey, is it time we started taking UFOs seriously?
I would like to tell Australia and the world in general that this is a very real phenomenon. I truly believe that this will end up being the greatest story of mankind in our entire history.